Hey everybody, thank you for joining me tonight. I know it's been a minute, it's been a few weeks since you last saw me. Your girl came down with COVID and it nearly wiped me out. But you know what? My resilience is strong and I'm back, and I'm so happy to see all of you guys. Thank you so much. So, for those who don't know me, my name is SAHIRA ANAISA Al FENICE, and this is my show, A Little Hint of Magic. It airs every first, third, and third Fridays of the month on the Magical Witchy World channel. Please tune in. So, let's get right to it, a topic near and dear to my heart. So, we're going to be discussing self love. Self love is true love. We're going to talk about what does self-love mean and why it's so important. How does self-love manifest? The benefits of self-love. And then at the end, we're going to do a quick little blending demo, making your self-love is true love EO's roller blend. So I'll try to answer relevant questions at the end if I have enough time. But I also invite everyone to DM me for any topic requests, any questions, or if you just want to share some info that you think will be interesting. You can reach me at a little hint of magic. That remember, that's magic with a CK at the end. Don't forget. So, getting to our topics. So, what does self love mean and why is it so important? So, what we don't realize is that self love is actually closely related to self esteem and self compassion. It's the appreciation, the acceptance, the respect, and consideration for oneself. When we arrive at this point, we realize our value and we begin handling ourselves with love and respect. And all this is really positive. I want to make sure that you guys are aware of this. There's no narcissistic tendencies here whatsoever. Remember, if we don't start loving ourselves, how are we expecting to love those like our family members, our partners, our fur babies, anyone that's important to us? We wouldn't be able to do it unless we first start with ourselves. So keep that in mind. Loving yourself doesn't mean making excuses for yourself, though, right? It's not a way to say, hey, it wasn't my fault. Because I love myself, I don't blame myself, or I don't hold myself accountable. It means understanding and accepting all of our good and bad parts. So the positive and the negatives, the polarities of our aspects, right? It means truly seeing yourself and loving yourself, even though you need to do better and improve. You can also create a plan of improvement for yourself. That's one of the best ways to provide self care for yourself. Remember that having high self love promotes physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual well being. And it also greatly improves our experiences in life, and also with our relationships. So it's all good all around. Why not do it? Think of self love as the foundation we build out, of necessity to set clear boundaries, right? Self love is about creating boundaries. Remember that, y'all. Developing healthy relationships with others, speaking our minds truthfully, not lying to ourselves, especially. We're not saying things that we know won't get us into trouble. Sometimes we gotta destroy in order to create, right? And if that means shaking someone's foundation in order for them to be better, sometimes we have to do those things. And it's all out of love, right? Practicing positive self care is also really important. Being empowered, empowering yourself, saying, I can affect change in my life, right? Not feeling like life is always happening to you or like life is living us. We're here to live life, right, in the best way possible. And please keep in mind to stay motivated and to pursue in the pursuit of your dreams and your aspirations. Don't rain on your own parade. Don't cut your own dreams. Be your biggest cheerleader. Sometimes that's all we have. Self love provides a platform for us to authentically accept and be proud of who we are. I invite you all to fall in love with yourselves. Trust me, everyone will see the benefits, especially you. So, how does self love manifest? So, I have a little list here, right? That's not so little, but it is a small portion of everything that you can manifest with self love. So, let's start with self love allows us to give ourselves positive feedback, right? In all situations. It allows us to forgive ourselves when mistakes happen. Because you know what? Mistakes will happen. We're human, right? Acknowledging our needs, knowing what we need and accepting it, acknowledging it, and doing something about it. Being assertive. Now, that doesn't mean being aggressive. Being assertive means knowing what you want and stating what you want and being firm, right, in what you want. Not being all wishy washy, right? We don't like passivity, we like activity, right? Not accepting abuse or being taken for granted, even from yourself. You know, we're our own biggest abusers, right? I'm one that, I think I was born castigating myself and saying everything is my fault, everything is my fault. You know what? No, it's not. Rise up, realize your power, and empower yourself with positivity. Because as much as you think things may be your fault, what you don't realize is you can affect the change in your life. Please keep that in mind, right? Prioritizing your health and your well being around those that truly have your back, right? And disengaging from those that don't. Know who's around you, who is in your circle, right? And keep only positive folks in your circle. That doesn't mean enablers, right? We don't want friends that enable us, right, to bad action. We want friends that hold us accountable and say, hey, I know you can do better. I believe in you. That's so powerful. You have no idea. Acknowledging that you need help and asking for it. Don't be shy. Hey, I'm short and I need someone to pick that up for me. So I'll find one of the tallest people in the aisle and I say, can you please help me out? I'm kind of vertically challenged and I make a joke out of it, but it's a way to set a comfort level, right? So that folks know that I need help. Please help me. Don't say no, right? Releasing those things that don't serve your highest good, your fears, your resentment, your anger. The list goes on. People that don't serve your highest good. Remember that. It's okay to, it's not giving up, it's giving into yourself. Keep that in mind. Acknowledging your strengths and validating your feelings, making healthy choices, walking in what you believe in and not compromising your values, right? Pursuing your dreams and aspirations strongly with effort and belief in yourself, challenging yourself and not accepting your own BS. We don't have to go further on that one. We all BS ourselves. Don't take that. Challenge yourself. Being accountable to yourself and to others, also super important. Accepting both your strengths and weaknesses, being real with yourself, setting realistic expectations. Because if you don't, you're going to live in disappointment and resentment for the rest of your life. Who the hell wants to live like that, right? I want to live in paradise. I don't want to keep saying that the cup is half empty. I want to say it's half full and I know how I can get it better, right? Create solutions for yourself. And lastly, stopping your inner critic, right? And acknowledging how far you've come because we've come so very far, right? And this in the end benefits you, right? So, what are the benefits of self love? Decreases in stress while increasing determination and tenacity, decreasing the fear of taking a leap of faith in ourselves. Believing in ourselves is the hardest hurdle to overcome, right? If you can do that, you can do anything, right? We have more empathy for ourselves, right? We become more self sufficient, right? Because we're actionable, we're motivated, we know we can, so we do, right? And then lastly, becoming better at setting clear and strong boundaries because everybody needs clear and strong boundaries. I don't care who you are, you need them. Whether they be from your puppy who always wants to be petted. My little girl, London, wants to always have a belly rub. Then sometimes mama got to work. So I have to set clear boundaries with her as much as she doesn't understand, as much as it bothers her and may hurt her feelings. I have to do that so that I can do my job, right? So setting clear boundaries is something that's part of self-care because it can only promote positive well-being in all aspects, right? So let's get to blending, right? So your self-love is true love, EO's roller blend, right? So I want to remind you that scents are powerful. And they're a powerful way to shift mindsets, right? And inspire true joy and love. So I'm going to share a little recipe that I came up with, and you can adjust it in any way you see fit. There's certain things that I like that you may not like. For example, there's a particular EO that I've included it on the list, but it's not in my blend because I don't like the way it renders, and I'll talk about it in a minute, right? I hope you love, right? I hope this blend actually that you love this blend and that it inspires you to love, right? And embrace yourself with every fiber of your being because love starts with you, right? So In terms of ingredients, we're getting a 10 ml tinted glass roller bottle, right? So this doesn't have the roller, it's a bottle, right? Empty. Um, and here is the roller. What I suggest you do is that you activate the roller before you put it on, right? Like I know my roller works. So I'm going to be good. But if you place this and you seal it in your bottle and it doesn't work, it's going to be a pain to try and pry it. And it may actually cause some of your, blends to like seep out. I'm cheap. I don't like wasting anything. These are expensive. And, these are gifts from the earth. The last thing you want to do is waste any gift that the earth gives you, right? So in here, we're going to put 10 mLs of carrier oil. Now you can use like sweet almond oil, jojoba oil is one of my favorites. In this instance, we're using vanilla infused jojoba wax, right? And remember that jojoba oil is actually a liquid wax. So I switch between wax and oil terminologies. What I love about the vanilla infused is that it creates like a really beautiful scented base, right? So that, you know, the oils kind of springboard off of that vanilla infusion. And that's why I love using this for fragrances. And then you're going to use 8 drops of essential oil. You can use any combination of the oils that, I suggested, as long as the total amounts equal 8 drops. What I like to do is I like to take a round cotton, round, and I like to, start 1 drop at a time of each oil so that I can kind of see how it renders, how they play together, and it will inform you like the proportion of each essential oil for your composition. If you don't do that, you may create something you don't like and it'll be too late. The best way to determine the final blend that will work for you is to just play with it. Play with those cotton rounds until you get the right fragrance, right? Um, and then the essential oils that I recommended, frankincense, of course, because it uplifts the spirit. It's a great resin for lifting the spirit. Lavender is a great flower essence. It promotes relaxation and it calms stress. One thing about these two particular EOs, they tend to overwhelm your blend. So go slowly with them so that way they don't overwhelm. You don't want it to be overwhelmingly lavender scented or overwhelmingly frankincense scented, unless that's what you really want. If that's what you really want, then it's okay, but go slowly. I also included lemongrass in here. That's the essential oil that I didn't include in my blend. It tends to be very lemony, and I tend to not like overly lemony fragrances, and it also has a tendency to overwhelm. What's great about lemongrass, it calms worries and relaxes the mind, right? Rosewood is also another oil that I have in here. It's a great wood. And because again, it's about grounding and kind of creating roots, and it calms stress and it promotes an open heart. The next one is sandalwood, one of my very favorites. So sandalwood is another wood also, and it encourages feelings of calmness, self-assuredness, and positivity. And another thing that's great about sandalwood, honestly, it makes a fragrance pop, and I love that about sandalwood. And then lastly, ylang ylang. So ylang ylang is a flower essence. It removes stress and promotes harmony and inner peace. Again, what's great about this is it's also great for calming your heart. So I have 2 oils in here, rosewood and ylang ylang, that work on your heart, opening your heart and calming your heart. So your heart is always open, and that's what you need for self-love, right? So let's get to it. So we're going to be adding 10 mLs of my jojoba wax, my vanilla infused jojoba wax in here. I'm going to use a pipette because, again, I don't like to waste anything if I can avoid it. So we're going to use this pipette. Oops, slipped out of my hands. And we're just going to go in here and fill. And it'll take a minute. We're almost there. We're a little more than halfway there. Now, I would suggest fill it up to the neck. Don't go above the neck because you want space for your essential oils, as well as you want a little bit of space to shake your blend so it all mixes together. So I'd say that's good enough right here. So as hopefully you guys can see it, where it ended up, it's like right here around the neck. So let me close this real quickly so I can get to my essential oils. And then let's see what my blend is. So here's my frankincense. And this is something that I get wholesale from a great lady named Robin's Resins. beautiful fragrances, beautiful frankincense fragrances. She has the resins as well as the oils. So, and the hydrosols, let's not forget. So let's drop in 2 drops here. Beautiful. Let's close this up so that I don't lose my oils. And then I'm going to take 2 drops of the lavender oil. And again, if you get an extra drop in there, don't stress it, don't sweat it, but try to stay mindful to get that last drop in. A little bit of air in here. Let me just shake this bottle a little bit so I can get my last drop in. Beautiful. Got that last drop in. So then we're skipping, as I said before, lemongrass, and we're going right to rosewood. So I'm going to take 1 drop of rosewood. That's what my blend calls for. So 1 drop. And I got like half an extra drop in there. It's not a big deal, like I've said before. And then let's look at sandalwood. I OD on sandalwood. Y'all don't have to, but I love the fragrance. So let's see if we can get 2 drops in here. It tends to take a little while, which is another reason why sometimes I pre-blend, because these resins can take a long time to pour. Okay, it's slowly coming out, but it's almost there. See, there's 1. And, in the meantime, just remember with sandalwood, one thing, sustainably source your sandalwood essential oil. A lot of folks are, oversourcing, and it's becoming one of those critical, right? Almost endangered materials. So just be very careful with that. And ylang ylang, we're gonna do 1 drop. Beautiful. So awesome. So what you do next, you put on that roller bottle top. Oops, I was doing it backwards. Don't do that. And make sure, right? So we know that it's there, it's sealed. And you just shake, right? You shake a little bit and then roll it on your wrist. Oh my gosh, this is such a beautiful fragrance. It smells a little resiny, but and deep, warm. It's a beautiful fragrance. I just can't help but say how beautiful it is. But we've created our 10 ml roller bottle of our self-love blend. You can use this whenever you want. Take it with you, put it in your purse, put it in your pocket, do whatever you need to do, put it in your backpack. Whenever you feel like you need a comforting, warm embrace, you just use that roller bottle and it'll make you feel so beautifully welcomed and so beautifully loved. And I'm actually going to use that quite a bit because I really love it. So thank you again for joining me as we come to the end of our time together this week. I want to make sure that we connect, that you can ask me questions, you can share any info, or even suggest future topics. Please realize that your input is so very necessary. I want to hear from all of you guys. Please follow and DM me at A Little Hint of Magic, magic with a CK at the end, and that's on Instagram. So thank you again for your time, and I'm looking forward to seeing all of you on March 15th at 7 p.m. Eastern. Have a wonderful night, a great weekend, and blessed be. Be well. Thank you.